Iris, there's just one more thing I want you to tell me.
What is it?
During the incident in which your sister, Dahlia Hawthorne, poisoned a lawyer, she began relations with a certain college student in order to hide the evidence. That college student, have you heard anything about him?
Well, I did hear one thing.
Because Iris said that she deceived me. Phoenix. What's that about? But then she was saying she didn't know that Dahlia knew Phoenix. Oh, wow. Sorry, buddy. I see. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I'm pretty sure she said that she was sorry to Phoenix because she deceived him.
Hurry up, Phoenix Wright. There is still much to investigate.
Is there?
Leave these locks to me. I'll open them for you, I promise.
Thank you. Jesus. Is there? Where is she? I don't know. You know what I just randomly thought of? I'll probably correct it when the video eventually goes up. Probably like in the title or description or something. But there was one episode, I think it might have been in Case 4, when I saw Valerie in the trunk of the car and I said that it was like the guy from Case 1-5 in the trunk of the car. I think that's when it was. And I said Dustin Prince. That was not his name. Dustin Prince was Maggie's boyfriend from Case 2-1. The guy from 1-5 was Bruce Goodman. Throwing that out there. Oh, Mr. Nick. You're too late, Nick. If you came here for one of our potatoes, we've already polished them all off. I think I've pretty much got all the evidence I need. Now I just need to find out what Pearls is hiding. She channeled... So did Pearl fucking do it? Not herself, obviously, but... her under the influence. I like how they surround her, because they don't want to block her face. Even her Cyclops are adorable. After dinner on the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Elise Donham's room reading a book together, correct? Your aunt.
Yes, I was so happy when she invited me. See, I thought she might have, talked about something with Pearl, but I guess they never really got to that at all. But I didn't go in the end.
You didn't go?
No, there was somewhere else I had to go instead. I was so worried. I had to go. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was so nervous.
So Pearls never went to Miss Donham's room because she was too worried about something or someone else. Pearls. The something being the letter and the someone being your mom? Oh, you went to this place. Okay, over here, because that's where you were. Here you go. You went here, didn't you, Pearls? Looks like she's... Hiccup. I hiccuped. Oh my god, I'm dying. This is where you went because you were so worried, right? Luckily, I don't get the hiccups. If I ever hiccup, which is rare, it's like once or twice. So it's done. I beat it. Who or what?
You mean you know?
If I'm right, will you tell me the whole truth?
Okay.
You went to this place for one very simple reason, and that is that... Well, that's a different question. You said it was for what and or whom, and I was like, okay, the letter or Morgan, but I'm assuming it's still the letter. We can't read the whole thing. But, yeah, here. Well, Pearls, this is what you were worrying about, right?
There's something I'm worrying about right now, actually.
What's that?
You, Mr. Nick. Your face has turned a really strange...
Am I wrong? Really?
You shouldn't work so hard, you know. You need to take a break. What the fuck?
Well, goddammit, Pearls. You have embarrassed me this day. Well then... Okay. About her. So I was supposed to present a profile then. Well, you said who or what. So I went with the what, but this time I'll go with the who. On the night of the murder... What the I already answered that game. Jesus. What does the letter say? As soon as you hear the lights out, you must channel her spirit, leave everything up to her. Her name is... She's the highest picture user... Yeah, gravely roast the master. Yeah, the fucking gravely roast thing.
I don't know. That's weird. Anyway, because, whatever. Well, Pearls, this is what you were worrying about, right? I am the worst man to ever be. Okay, fuck. You went to this place for who? Well, I'm not gonna say Dahlia. If it's Morgan's not the answer, then Dahlia is not the answer. Is it Maya then? Because I was thinking, you know, we've just learned all this shit about Morgan. I'm like, okay, well, she went there because of the note and whatever Morgan was doing. But I guess it was Maya, because she was the other one there. Fine. It was Maya, wasn't it? Ah! You knew the training Maya was undertaking was dangerous. After all, it was the special course. Okay. I signed up for your special... yeah. Well, I was not thinking of that. My mind was on all the new information about those guys. If you become one with those you channel... dude. Is that... foreshadowing? Was it? And because it was you who introduced Hazakura Temple to Maya in the first place, you felt responsible, didn't you? What happened to Dahlia and Iris's father? If he was like a piece of shit, are we ever gonna... is there anything gonna be anything with him? I don't know. Do we know? Have they said before? I don't remember. Thinking about what could happen to Mystic Maya made me more and more worried. I couldn't sit still at all. That's why I decided to go and find out how she was doing at the Inner Temple. Okay. Then we're clear now that you went to the Inner Temple that night, Pearls. What's not clear is what happened after that. About what time was it when you headed over to the Inner Temple? It was probably around 9:30 when I left the main hall. I heard the real training was supposed to start at 10. I wanted to get there before it started. But there was so much snow, so I didn't get there until after 10 o'clock. Till after 10? How did you know what time it was? Because I heard the bell ringing for lights out. You heard the lights out bell? The Hazakura Temple bell's pretty small, though, isn't it? You must have really good hearing. I was really trying to pick up the sound of that bell, that's all. I didn't want to miss it. That would be terrible. She was trying to hear the bell. Tell me, Pearls, why were you so worried about hearing that bell? Huh? Oh, I think I know why. The reason you were so worried about that bell. This time it's the letter, right? Because it said the bell. Let me make sure. Didn't it? Yeah, as soon as you hear the lights out bell. Uh-huh. Here you go. I was just a little ahead of myself. You were given some instructions to follow for that night, weren't you? I presume you recognize these pieces of paper. Ah! Where did you... In the incinerator at the Inner Temple. Pearls, you were following the instructions in this letter that night, weren't you? That's why you couldn't afford to miss the sound of the lights out bell. I'm speechless, Mr. Nick. You're amazing. Well, thank you. But tell me the truth, please. All of it, if I'm so amazing. Break those other locks for me. For me? I know. As you can see, a large portion has been burnt, but the last section is still fairly legible. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Who was it, Pearls? Whose spirit were you supposed to be channeling? Taking into account the author of the note and their purpose for writing it, whose spirit would Pearls have been trying to channel? Don't overthink it, Phoenix. It's pretty obvious who Pearls was supposed to channel. What are you trying to say? It's weird that he would say that. It's like telling the player that, like, hey, don't be a fucking idiot. Well, out of all the profiles, she's dead. Pretty sure it wasn't her. She's dead, but that's a more recent thing. And she's dead. That would be the obvious answer. Here we go. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? That was the name that was in the letter. Ah. It's just as I suspected. It wasn't Iris whose sister Bikini met at the Inner Temple that night. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you know anything about her, Pearls?
Do you know what kind of a woman Dahlia Hawthorne was? No. I've never heard of anyone by that name before reading those instructions. Have you ever heard the word cunt, Pearl? I'm gonna teach it to you. It's her. I thought so. Pearls doesn't have a clue. She doesn't know what Dahlia is her sister. About the instructions in the letter I found, Pearls. Who wrote them? Whoever it was asked you to channel the spirit of someone you'd never heard of. And now I present Morgan. So yeah, I was going a little too fast on these locks. Had to take my time. Here's my next question. Who wrote this set of instructions for you to follow? If you could be generous and restore my health, like, a lot when I'm done with this, that'd be great game. I was right, I just presented it all too early. I was ahead of you. I should be rewarded. But you followed them to the letter regardless. Why? Because it was your own mother who asked you, that's why. How did you... I figured it out. The person who wrote you this letter was your own mother, Morgan Fay. Don't cry again. Still another lock. Mr. Nick, Why is she holding back from me? I don't like this. Don't underestimate me just because I'm a child. Huh? If you're trying to say I follow these instructions, I'd like to see some proof. What? Because I don't think you have any. Well, you lost your powers, apparently. That's a thing. Wow. I guess I'll have to produce some more evidence. What the hell am I presenting? Someone carried out these instructions on the night of the murder, but you're right. There's no evidence that proves it was you. I knew it. Don't sass me, Pearl. I do know whoever did it. Blah. Whoever did it was a child. How do you know that? How do you know that? Okay. It couldn't have been an adult. No adult would have made a simple mistake like that. What? I'm thinking of writing Maya's name upside down, but that can't be it. That's not childish, that's... I'm not sure what it is. A simple mistake? What do you mean by that? I'm sure you thought you were carefully following the instructions you'd been given. Yeah, there's no way she wrote that in blood anyway. But you misunderstood some of the words, and this is the evidence that proves it. You misunderstood some of the words? Be careful, once night falls, should be there. You hear the lights out bell, channel her spirit. Her name is blank. She is our ally, the whole. Here's a picture of her. Burn the, I may tell anyone about this letter. Okay, it's gotta be the gravely roast part. Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades. And I guess that makes sense, it's just a weird phrase. You know, I've been confused by it, but it's not that it doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, gravely roast, but it just sounds so weird. That's why it's been weird to me this whole time. And she must have misunderstood it. Okay. I wish I could just show her that and point to that. Show her the letter and point to this part she misunderstood. But... oh, no fucking way. Really? That's why it's covered in gravy? Because she thought it said gravy? And she put gravy? Holy shit, give me a second. Are you kidding? That's why it was covered in gravy? Pearl thought that the letter was telling her to put gravy on it. And so she did. Well, she's like, I don't know what else to do with the gravy. I'll put it on the scroll. Oh my god, Pearl, that kind of makes me love you all over again. I forgive you, because that's funny. Are you kidding me? I was like, what the fuck? And then I saw that, and I was like, there's the gravy scroll, and gravy, gravely. Jesus. That's it, right? Oh my god. That's so fucking weird. Who came up with that? Which one of you people who made this game came up with that? Because that's ridiculous, and I love it. Why would I do something like that? Do you want to remember what was written in the letter? Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. It sounds so weird. It's weird because that's what Elise had said before. That's why it was also throwing me off. I was like, it's got to be a code. But it wasn't. It was just misunderstood. How do you know that? Remember the conversation you had with Miss Donham on the night of the murder? So that was just to prove that she didn't know those words? That set me on a whole different train of thought. I was like, what the hell's up with those words? Miss Elise? For example, how do you read that? Yep. And then... They really should let me fast forward through the flashbacks. I have already seen that dialogue. But, whatever. Sure, Miss Donham taught you how to read gravely and roast. But what she didn't teach you is what they meant. Gravely sounded like gravy to me, and the only roast I could think of was the food. And that's why you did it. That's why you covered the picture of the master in gravy. That is so fucking stupid. That's why you covered the picture of the master in gravy from that night's pot roast. Oh, I love it. That's hilarious. I genuinely forgive you because that is funny. To be honest, I did think it was a bit strange. I guess I really did get the wrong idea. Just a tiny bit. I really... No. I didn't even manage to burn the letter properly as my mother had asked of me. Such a simple thing, and I couldn't even do it right. She put gravy on the thing. That's a good one. That is a good one right there. Holy shit. After dinner that night, I did go to the inner temple with a pot full of the leftover gravy. The gravy? I saw the picture on the hanging scroll near the sacred cavern. I was sure it was the Master of Khura'in like it said in the letter. I see, and then... Well, it was already way past 10 when I got there because of all the snow. So I went to the inner temple guest area. The guest area? Yes, I thought I could wait there until the training was over. Why didn't you just go to the training hall? Because Mystic Maya's main training had already started and I couldn't interrupt it. So I just stayed where I was and prayed for her to get through it. But then, Pearls, did you fall asleep? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just couldn't help it. Hey, don't worry about it, Pearl. Why are you still here? I fell asleep waiting for Iris, too. I also neglected my post at my job, getting my boss murdered. Oops. Anyway, then you found yourself trapped at the inner temple. Yes, when I woke up, it was morning. I tried not to cry, but... Dusky Bridge wasn't there anymore, so did she not channel? Was she able to, like, take her over while she slept? Like, because Maya was doing the stuff, maybe there was so much spiritual power going around that she was able to just, like, possess Pearl while she slept? I don't know. Every time you fucking mention it, then I heated up the leftover gravy. Oh, what did... I don't know why I find that so funny. And the fact that I felt the need to heat it up. And she just deliberately did that. That she's like, well, I guess that's what it is. I gotta do it. Goes, gets the gravy, heats it up, takes it there, puts it on there. She just earnestly does what she thinks she's supposed to be doing. Putting fucking gravy on it. That is really funny to me. And let off some steam by chucking the gravy on the scroll while you cried. I don't know why that's so funny. It must have been pretty scary for you, Pearl. I know what it's like. Nick used to leave me behind when I fell asleep at school, too. Don't equate something so trivial with her experience, Larry.